What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of All American Sports Network. This is your host, Joel Davis from Joel Davis Media Network. If it's your first time tuning in to my actual broadcast, thank you for joining us. And today, we're going to talk about a topic that is very touchy, and that is about what happened with the Mar Hamlin, the NFL player from the Bills, who plays the position of safety. But as we talk about this subject, please believe that Damar Hamlin is in our prayers because what he is going through right now, I wouldn't want to wish that on my worst enemy or anyone for that matter when it comes to their family. But there's also something that I definitely want to uh, discuss that involved the situation of Damar Hamlin. Now, Damar Hamlin, when he got hit, was at the time um, being watched or monitored by Skip Bayless. Now, if you don't know who Skip Bayless is the one who is on the FS1 show, Shannon and Skip, Undisputed. Now, Skip has been known to be very controversial. And last 30 days, Skip has been controversial, especially with some of the things he has said towards Shannon Sharp about his infamous debate about Tom Brady and how he feels that Shannon Sharp was jealous of Tom Brady because Tom Brady's career lasted longer than his. But that is not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the infamous tweet heard around the world that got every woken in sports upset. And as soon as I talk about this tweet, then I will give you my full synopsis after reading the TMZ article, which is here. Skip Bayless show, Shannon Sharp Skip FS1 show over Bayless tweet. Unclear when he returned. Now, Skip Bayless hosted Tuesday morning's episode of Undisputed alone without the infamous Uncle Shay Sharp. And it was no accident. We're told the Hall of Famer was upset with the opinionated TV host's controversial tweet sent minutes after Damar Hamlin's heart stopped during MNF, which is Monday Night Football. And TMZ Sports is told the network, which wants Shannon back as soon as possible, doesn't know if he returned to work on Wednesday. The controversy started when Bayless tweeted, "No doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of this game. But how? This late in the season. A game of this magnitude is crucial to the regular season outcome, which suddenly seems so irrelevant." The backlash came fast and furiously when someone from fans to current and former star athletes like Darrell Reeves, Des Bryant, Sauce, Gardner, and others going in on Skip. In the wake of criticism, and less than an hour after his original message, Bayless attempted to clarify his point, writing, Nothing is more important than that young man's health. That was the point of my last tweet. I'm sorry if I was misunderstood, but his health is all that matters. Again, everything else is irrelevant. I prayed for him and will continue to. But clearly it wasn't enough for his partner Shannon. Because when Undisputed went live Tuesday morning, Sharp was nowhere to be found. Now, I'm going to play a clip of what was played and shared on Twitter. It says, interested to get official word on why Shannon Sharp didn't join Skip Bayless to talk about Damar Hamlin or the tweet. We know little except as rags _no_ riches smartly pointed out there have been some tension on air moments between them recently. So let's play the clip.
Allow me to say up front that I apologize for what we're going to set out to do here today if it offends anyone, because we're going to try to do the show pretty much as we usually do the show. But I'll admit up front, I'm still shook up by what happened last night to Damar Hamlin. In fact, I'm still wrecked.
All right, I'm going to leave that part of the clip there. I don't want to go too further into it. It's fair use, and I don't want no one to say that I'm trying to, infringe, that whole flag with YouTube. But we'll leave that part right there. Now, let's continue going into the article. Some speculated Shannon could have simply had the day off, but our sources tell us that that's not the case. That was a direct reaction to Bayless' tweet. A few minutes into the show, Skip seemingly tried to clear the air without directly addressing the reason behind Shannon's absence, saying, obviously, my partner Shannon Sharp is not here today. I look forward to seeing him tomorrow. Bayless also started the show telling the audience he was going to attempt to approach the show as he would any other weekend. All right. I mean, any other weekday. Excuse me. What's going on, Cash the Realist? I appreciate you stopping by. Though he wasn't sure if he'd be able to get through the emotional topic. I apologize for what I've set out to do. If it offends anyone, because we're going to try to do the show pretty much as we usually do the show. But I admit up front, I'm still shook up by what happened last night to Damar Hamlin. Skip continued, in fact, I'm still wrecked. In fact, I'm not sure I'm capable of doing this show today, but after barely sleeping on it, I decided to give it a try. Maybe I'll fail, maybe we'll fail, but we're going to try. Hamlin, most importantly, is still in intensive care of a Cincinnati hospital fighting for his life. All right, guys. So I'm about to break this down. And again, I'm one of the realest people you ever meet. And I don't sugarcoat nothing. I think that's why people like me, because I've always been that way. So again, my content might not be for everyone, and you might not like my opinion, but I gotta give it to you straight with no chasing. So let's go and do just that. We're gonna break down the tweet. All right. The tweet that he said, and we're gonna break it down word for word. Break it down sentence by sentence. This is what he tweeted. And I'm going to say it again. No doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of the game. But how? Now let's talk about that. we have seen in the past of old age, when it comes to the NFL, when it comes to basketball, we've seen people, nothing like this, of course, but we've seen medical situations that did end in people losing their lives, that the game continued on. We've seen that in basketball. I think it was back in the early 90s. I forgot what guy it was. He played basketball. He was playing basketball, I think that night. I think it was college level. I know it was back in the 90s. He passed out. They took him out on the stretcher, and then the next day, after the end of the game, that's when they updated that he was in critical condition, and the guy passed away. We've also seen it in physical contact in hockey, whatever sport that's got a physical contact. We've seen people get injured, life threatening, but things went on. So, in that thing, that's what he's saying. How? Yep, WWF, exactly, wrestling. Show did. We know this. I'm not finished. Let's read the rest of the tweet. This late in the season, a game of this magnitude is crucial to the regular season outcome, which suddenly seems so irrelevant. Okay, now this is the part that got everybody triggered. Oh my God. He's talking about its magnitude and crucial to the regular season. How is it so irrelevant? He's not thinking about that young man dying on the field or in a medical state. No. This is what Skip was trying to say. And I'm going by this because Skip never played football. Y'all got to remember this. Skip has never played professional football. He's always been a beat writer. So when you're dealing with a beat writer, this old school beat writer like Skip at best, they're going to focus on the context of the story that's going on. Now, when he said the following, which suddenly seems so irrelevant, and his way of not causing panic, but being professional, he was like, yeah, this game is major to try to figure out who's going to be in the lead, who's going to do this and that for going towards the playoff spot in the Super Bowl. But as of this point, with this type of situation that is going on this field, that does not matter. Now, this is where Skip fucked up at and got the Wokians on his ass. Skip should have followed up with suddenly seems so irrelevant due to the fact that a young man is on this field trying to fight for his life. And at this point of that, we should have his family, his teammates in our prayers so he can survive. That what made Skip got his ass chewed, because we live in different times now. You can't be the old school beat writer from the 90s, in the early 80s, in the 70s. Shit don't fly no more. Why does it don't fly no more, Joel? Because we live in a culture where people are very sensitive. Not desensitized, sensitive. Now, when you're dealing with a sensitive type of audience with a situation that is very sensitive, you should have choose better words. Now, this is where Skip got his ass ate up more than he was expecting. He went on the air and he apologized. And you should have never went on the air and apologized. In fact, what you should have done, you should have not even been on air at all. You should have said, we're canceling the show today. You should have reflected on the fact of the matter of releasing that statement and trying to patch things up with your co-host. Because see, right now, Skip is on a fine line. Because Skip has to understand that you're in a culture right now where sports is woke. Sports ain't like it used to be. You got to be careful what you say, especially in sensitive matters like that. And not to mention, too, this is a time where you should have been more human on the subject. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that what everybody reacted to what Skip said is wrong. Because again, these people play the game. They are on the field. They know how dangerous it is out there. So, with that being said, you got to look at all sides of the spectrum. The honest thing that Skip should have done was patch things up with Shannon, and then should have went on the air the next following day and have a conversation. But then again, you got to remember too, Shannon is still in his feelings on how Skip checked him, basically disrespected him, checked him on live air. I mean, you got to admit, man, he put his foot in damn Shannon's ass when it came about that Brady. But that's another topic. I digress. I still say to this day, the most intelligent thing, the most smart thing in the situations that Skip should have done was should have tweeted about at the end about he hoped that this man's family and the situation got better. That's where he fucked up at. I mean, he made a professional mistake. Now, am I saying that Skip is this heartless, I don't give a damn about players? I would never say that about Skip. I know Skip's very passionate. He's has his woke moments like every other wokian that's got shit going on right now. But I do know this. Skip got professional mode because that was probably his defense to desensitize himself to the actual what's going on with the situation. Because that what happened on the field was a culture shock. Nobody never seen no shit like that on no football field. Now, let's talk about what happened to brother Damar Hamlin on the football field. That, again, a lot of sports people are not talking about, and I'm going to tell you what happened. So, I can't explain it like a doctor in layman terms, but you can look this up, and I put the link about the sports article. It's like your heart works like an electric circuit in your house, right? What happens in an electrical circuit in your house when you put something in your circuit that's got too much damn juice? Shit goes off, right? Shuts down. Breaker snap. You got to hurry up. You got to reset the breaker to start it back up. Well, that what happened when Damar Hamlin took that tackle, and that dude headbutt him full force into his chest. He was in the middle of his heart cycle. Because you got to remember, your heart works just like an electric, like electricity. It got its low peaks, its high peaks, its mid peaks. And what happens is when he got that shock to his body, at that time, his heart was on pause mode. See, people don't know this, and I just found this out too from a medical professional in sports medicine that works with the heart of athletes, that your heart has a pause moment, a millisecond pause. Didn't know this. Everybody's heart has a millisecond pause before they go to the next level to restart the cycle again. When he got hit, it pushed it right back into that pause when it was going back to that next level to restart the cycle again. That's why he went into cardiac arrest. That's why it took 9 minutes to get him back resuscitated. Now, a lot of people are feeling like he may not pull through. Some people say, he could. Look, I'm not God. I'm not a doctor. I hope he pulls through. And I hope it did not cause any kind of serious damage. But this goes to show us, guys, that the sports out here is real. Okay? Every time these guys go out here and play our favorite game, they are putting their lives on the line. This is not only just NFL. This is basketball too. Yeah, I know. You probably there ain't no way you get. Yes, you can. Basketball, you mess around, somebody do a hard ass foul and hit your chest, you can get knocked the fuck out. Not only just basketball, we're talking about boxing. I mean, it's just what it is. Sports is dangerous. You don't believe me? Look what happened with Deontay Wilder with the last fight. He hit that man so hard, that man, he thought the man was brain dead. The man didn't get up. They had to take him to the hospital. Thank God now the man made it through, but he was crying. Because you know why? Because like he said, the game we in is dangerous. This sport, any sport is dangerous. Yeah, that's right, Harpoon Baker. And that's why people got to understand, bro. You got to take this seriously in playing sports. That's why these coaches tell these players to hit a certain way, to move a certain way, to react a certain way when it comes to doing these plays and these routes. Not only in the NFL, not only in plays with just basketball, baseball, it's all of these sports. Because all it takes is one fuck up and you're done. I'm gonna go to the comments right here before I wrap this up. And I'm glad we got 14 people in the stream. I'm gonna do another stream tonight because we got more sports news that I got coming out. I'm pumping them out tonight. My man says, Brian Nichols said, something helped it happen, in my opinion. I just don't see how it hasn't happened before in pro football, and then it happens a point with safety equipment, it at its peak. It makes no sense. Well, Brian, here's the thing, man. This is 2023, and this has been a weird year. I mean, look at how we just heard the freak accident of the DC founder race car driver in the snowplow. People have been dying this year over freak accidents already. So maybe this is the year of freak accidents that we could never explain. I mean, I'm just being real. I mean, it's crazy right now. It is crazy, straight crazy right now. Let me get up here. Todd Lineker said, athletes are more athletic than ever, and that's another factor. Todd, you're right. Look at how people are eating. You know what I'm saying? Look at the food that people are ingesting. Look what they're putting on our food right now. There's major hormones going on in our food. I mean, think about this. How many of y'all ever seen a 7th and 8th grader now that playing sports? A lot of these 7th and 8th graders are over 6'3" and 6'4". How many 15-year-olds that you know are 6'6" and 6'7"? I'm just telling you, man. There is a lot of craziness going on. We got 22 people in the chat tonight, baby. This is, like I said, this is one of the livest sports network you get, where I give you sports and I give it to you real. I break it down. King Refuge says, you see that high school player that looked like, exactly. The dude that just hit 9th grade looked like he 35, got a mustache and everything. Even got a tattoo on his arm. But he legitimately 15 years old. Sheriff 606 said these players don't get appreciated well by the NFL. Sure, you're right. I'm not going to lie with you on that. A lot of these players do not get the just due that they need to get in the NFL. A lot of these players get very disrespected. And not only just by that, but a lot of these players, family members, don't take in consideration either that they putting their life on the line every day when they're doing this. Brian Nichols says 6'5" for 300 pounds, full beard, 14. Yep, I've seen those too. I've seen it even in where I'm at. I'm in the country, dog. I'm in Jessup, Georgia, South Georgia country boys. There's a lot of young men that are 14, 15 years old that are at that height, 6'4", 6'5", strong like grown men. It's more and more common now. That's why you got all these troubles going on in these high schools with these female teachers that doing what they're doing. But I digress. Again, that's on my other channel, on my conservative channel. If you ever want to check that out, where we break it down on all aspects. But right now we're focusing on sports. And this right here is going to go down in infamy as one of the most craziest things we have ever witnessed in the history of television. And that's right there, because this young man was fighting for his life on the field. We've seen that in real time. And that's due to the fact of the technology of today. You think we would have been able to see that back in the 70s or the 80s or especially in the early 90s? Hell no. What's going on, Cat? Yes, Cat. Yes, yes, yes. 21 people in the chat. Guys, I am so appreciative of all of my fans coming on this channel. I know I don't come on here that much, but the support is insane and I'm loving it. I appreciate y'all tonight. But this is very sad, guys. And not only that, the NFL really needs to evaluate the safety protocols. That's what I want to say too now. Because now you got the Tua thing going on in this. I think the NFL really needs to sit down and figure out more safety protocols. They need to inspect equipment. They need to inspect everything that's going on. Brian Nickel, thank you for finding this channel. I have a lot of content. I break down a lot of stuff. I talk about what's going on in sports. I don't play. I try to do the sports network. We stream at least 2 nights out the week. Because my major channels is my conservative stuff, my conservative brand, and I stream those as well a lot. And then my other channel, my entertainment channel, I stream that at least once a week. So I'm glad you found one of my mini channels. Like I said, we're a network, man. This is what we do. We cover everything. And we give it an unbiased perspective. Over here, you ain't got to worry about the woke BS. You ain't got to worry about the victimhood bullshit. You're getting sports. Because guess what? With sports, you ain't got to worry about all that shit with his channel. We give it facts. Facts. We're not woke. We're not so conservative that we're out of touch, and we're not so woke to where we crying so much. It is straight facts. And that's what we do over here. And right now, the fact of the matter is this young man needs our prayers. That's just what it is. This young man is 20-something. Listen, my oldest son is the same age as that young man. That could have been my son on that field. That could have been trying to get resuscitated. That's why I take this issue seriously. You know? This could have been any of our sons. What we seen last night, guys, with brother Damar Hamlin, could have been any of our children on that field. If you are a man that is 40 and up, that could have been your child on that field. Playing in the NFL, went down like that. That's facts. So that just goes to show us that life is precious. And you know what else is crazy? His charity has Drive for Tots, because he was all about giving back, has raised almost $4 million. And let's talk about this kid's story. This kid, and that's why I say sometimes the Lord will let us know that we need to appreciate the good people while we can. This young man was projected never to be an all-star in the NFL. He got drafted, got selected, and was a backup. I want y'all to keep that in your mind. A backup. One of the star safeties this year off that team got hurt. Came to that young man and said, hey, listen, man, we need you, and we want you to apply everything that you can to the game. And let me tell you something about backups that coaches always don't know. You never know what your backup will do. Sometimes you get an average backup. He steps up, do some good plays here, good plays there. That's it. Sometimes you get a complete garbage backup. A guy that doesn't want to put in the work, just wants to check, just wants to show up and say, hey, I started in the game. I'm with these famous guys. Yay. But when you get a backup that takes the opportunity, like this young man here, Brother Hamlin, and said, all right, I'm going to give it not 100%, not 110%. I'm going to give it 500 damn percent of everything I got and show people, every person that told me I would never be successful, I would never do anything in this league to bring attention to myself, that I'm just as good or even better than the next guy. And that's what that young man did the whole season. That man is the leader right now on his team for tackles in the history of the Bills. Let that shit sink in. He went against the odds and made no excuses. He could have easily said, I want to trade. I don't like being a backup. He could have easily gave up and went home and took the little bit of game money he was making and started a business or something and played PS5 all day. But he didn't do that. That's why we got to pray that this young man continue to finish his dream. Because I don't think God finished with him yet. I don't think God is finished with this young man yet. I'm just going to be honest. Maybe I'm crazy, but I don't think God is finished with Damar Hamlin yet. Because this man did something that a lot of young people his age don't do these days and age. They quick to give up, and he didn't do that. And you could tell he got fight in him because the young man got back up and then he collapsed after the hit. So what that tell you? God ain't through with this man yet. I'm not going to sit here and say he is. But getting back to the topic at hand about Skip Bayless, Skip going to have to do some soul searching, because I got a feeling that if he continues to not watch how he moves and basically speak and speak in a way where you use common sense, he might be looking for a co-host. Because got to remember, Shannon Sharpe is a Hall of Famer, and he really don't need Fox anymore. Why should he? He's got his own platform going on YouTube. Uncle Shay Sharp and all that. He could easily stop that and go all focus on that. But we'll see what happens. But get in the comment section. Tell me what y'all think about this video here. I got another video coming up where we will be talking about a young man who threw his dreams away in the sports world for being an idiot. Please, if you have made it to the end of this live, all 23 people that's in here, or the person that has finished looking at the end of the live as a replay, if you feeling the content, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit that notification bell up top. I'm not like the rest of these guys on the YouTubes. I like for you to look at my shit first, and if I held your attention, then I ask for the subscription. Because there's no need of me asking for you to invest in my product, and I ain't showed you nothing at all. That being said, peace.